Maureen, good morning. I can guess what your response is likely to be. It's not going to make any difference, is it?
Morning, Jane, and it's good to be with you again. I can just say that we welcome the arrival of the Human Rights Commission report, and the report tells it exactly like it is at the river, and unfortunately, it's still the same. Remember, the actual inquiry took place 2 years ago, so nothing has changed. But we've got hopes that the inquiry will have some effect. The authorities have got 60 days to respond, so it'll be interesting to see what their responses are. But certainly, one point that the Human Rights Commission highlighted is the fact that the Emfuleni Council, as well as many other councils, local councils in the country, do not have the ability to run wastewater treatment systems. And this is causing a huge ecological disaster, and it is causing also a lot of human suffering because people have to live with sewage flowing in their houses. So something has to be done to actually create a new entity for the water treatment systems and the delivery of water. And we're hoping that the National Department of Water and Sanitation will come up with something along those lines.
I mean, I'm just surprised you're so positive. You and I have been speaking about this for many years now. You know, the army's been brought in. There's a call now for national government to get involved. I mean, really, it seems that they don't care or they are incapable of doing something. So who's going to take the initiative and push it on? I mean, this is a human rights tragedy, and people's lives are at risk here. I mean, what's it going to take?
Well, at the moment, we're in this situation where the Emfuleni Water Care Company that was worked for a year on the system, but actually did little else apart from presenting wonderful plans, which made us very excited, and unblocking the pipes, which then actually just caused the sewage to flow into the raw sewage to flow into the river because the water treatment plants weren't working. So the National Department has now taken over the work. So they have issued tender documents, but this only happened in December last year. And we have not yet, the communication is very poor with them, I must be honest. We're waiting to hear the results of those tender outcomes. But at this stage, it's unlikely to really see any people actually working on the ground, skilled workers, engineers, until about the end of March, April. So we're waiting.
Yeah, I know, and we'll have the same conversation next year and the following year. Tell us more about. I mean, obviously it affects people's lives, and from a business point of view, it's devastated many businesses as well, isn't it? The confidence there is gone.
The confidence has really been wiped out. I think the COVID situation really put the hat on it. But tourism has got such potential at the Vaal. There's some beautiful venues along the river, lots of B&Bs. And they've literally been, the smaller places have been wiped out, which means loss of jobs, which the area can ill afford. So, also other businesses, people who wants to come and invest for the dirty river, in a place which does offer great opportunities for investment in businesses.
Well, I'm sure some politicians are going to be snapping up those cheaper properties, right?
Yeah. And property values. The property values have taken a knock, not according to the rates that are paid, but to the Emfuleni Council. But, try and sell a property on the river these days. It's not easy.
I mean, my mom lives there. We grew up in the Vaal. And, for example, the road that she's on, it hasn't been... I mean, it's not a tar road. I mean, you can barely drive down it. I mean, there are enormous potholes that you can't even drive past. So it seems it's not just, it's the extension of the Vaal as well, isn't it? On every single level, it's just not functioning.
Even the tarred roads. The Barrage Road, which is a busy provincial road, they are doing work on it. But at the moment, it is frightening to drive along it because it is full of potholes. And you drive along and then you don't see workers working on the new sections either at the moment. So that is a problem. And Jane, I must tell you, the biggest tragedy, just in the last couple of weeks, we've had huge amounts of rain, particularly in the Ritzspruit. The Ritzspruit has come down in serious flood on 2 different occasions. There must have been about 400 mil of rain that fell. And this had the benefit of flushing out the river. And we were looking at river water as you and I used to know it. So it was very, very exciting. I thought, well, if nothing happens, it'll take at least 6 months for the river to be back to its old state of sludge. I couldn't believe it when I looked at the rainwater report for the 12th of February. The E. coli rate, in spite of that huge amount of water coming through, was at 26,000 counts per 100 mil of water, whereas it should not be more than about 200 to 400 mil. So what the nature has done will be negated if the the department don't just shake a leg here and put some urgency into the matter.
Maureen, always good to talk to you, and thanks for the work that you do. Hopefully one day this will be tackled.